let's continue talking about linear equations, writing them, and this time we're going to talk about this thing called point-slope form. All right, so before we did equations in slope-intercept form, now we're going to do lines in this thing called point-slope, which I'm imagining if you break that down, you can probably figure out how it's going to look. And so we're going to use models to we're going to model linear equations using multiple methods, and we're going to use this. And we're going to come back to our standard of creating an equivalent equations, the ACED4, and you'll have another, or ACED2, and you'll have another chance to retake those. Okay, the one where we rewrite equations in different forms. All right. So here we go. This is the common standard, the common core standard that we're doing this time. Okay, go ahead, you can take a look at it, and this is the one that you'll get quizzed on after the next lesson. All right, so here's what it looks like. This is point slope form. Okay, where we have y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity of x minus x1. And the reason it's called point slope form is because really all you need is a point where we'll put in here and here. That's kind of, the color doesn't work very well. Okay, we're going to plug in your x and your y here, and then you'll plug in your slope here. Okay, that's the general idea of what that's going to look like. Okay, so let's go ahead and write an equation of a line in point slope form that passes through the point 4, comma, negative 3, and it's a slope of 2. So all we're going to do here is we're going to do y minus, okay, and now what I like to do here is I like to label this as x1, comma, y1, so that I don't forget that the second point is the point that goes in here. Okay, the two common mistakes that that students typically make here is they'll put x, they'll put 4 in here, okay, and then they'll also forget that that's subtracting this. So you know, whatever y1 is, okay, you're subtracting it, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. So y1, see, it's negative 3, so that's really subtracting a negative 3. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug in y1 for here. My m is 2, that's the slope, right? And then times x is going to be 4, so it's x minus 4. Okay, and let's go ahead and rewrite this so that it looks a little bit friendlier. So it's y plus 3 is equal to 2 times x minus 4. Okay, and that's what it's going to look like. That's going to be your point slope form. Okay, so you have a point, negative 3 comma 4, and your slope, which is 2. Okay, and you might be asking yourself, well, what's the point of this? So, and that pun was actually not intended. The point of this is sometimes you're going to get a point on a graph that doesn't have a nice y-intercept, not one that you can see real handily. So if you know the slope and you know a point and it's not the y-intercept, you can use this form to write the equation of the line pretty easily. Okay, and then you know what? Let's go ahead and I'm going to show you, because on the quiz what I'm going to ask you to do is write the point slope form, and then you're going to rewrite this into either slope intercept form or standard form. So let's rewrite this so that we get it in slope intercept form. Okay, so this is point slope form, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go y plus 3, and I'm going to go ahead and distribute, so I get 2x minus 8. Okay, and then I'm going to subtract the 3 from both sides, so I get y is equal to 2x minus 11. Okay, and then this is sort of that idea of rearranging, right? Rearranging my my equation, so I can kind of go back and forth between these two different things. Okay, and so this is, like I said, this would be my slope intercept form. Okay, so here's slope intercept form, and this is point slope form. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I want you to try and graph this equation. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is let's look at point slope form, okay, so that we can identify our points, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put this on our graph. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's identify our different pieces. Well, I'm hoping you can see that m pretty quickly is going to be 2/3. Okay, and then a point here, right? It's going to be x1 comma y1. Alright, and then so x1 is this thing. So here's x1. And remember, it's x minus x1. So in this case, I know my point is going to be 3, comma, right? And then it's minus y1. So then if this is plus 2, it's comma negative 2. So what I can do here is I can go ahead and put on my point over 3, down 2. Okay, put on my point here, and then I'm going to use my slope, 2/3, to go ahead and draw the rest of this. So up 2, and then right 3. Okay, and then if I go down 2, I go left 3. And this one actually does have a nice y-intercept there. So this isn't necessarily you don't need point slope for this one. But as you can see, it's a little bit easier to do it this way, and put in a line here, and there we have. And it's going to look kind of weird because there we go. And there you have it. Okay, let's move on. Okay, why don't you go ahead and you try to not graph the equation. You should, from the graph, go ahead and write the write what you think the equation of this line is, and put it in point slope form. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so a couple things we need to identify. First, we need to know y1 and x1, and then we also need to know the slope. Well, let's see, from -1, let's see, go from 3 to 1, that goes down 2, right? And then right 2. So I'm going to have a negative, my slope is -2/2, which is equal to -1. Okay, and then I can just use a point. So I'm going to do y is equal to, and let's use, we'll use this one, right? 1, 1. That's a nice point to use since they're both the same. So y is going to equal to -1. Oops. All right, let's try this again. Let's put our point here, 1, 1. All right, so then we'll go y is minus y1, 1. It's equal to m, -1, times x minus x1. And there you have it. And that's it. All right, let's try another one. All right, table is going to show cost of visiting a working ranch for one day and night for different numbers of people. Can the situation be modeled by a linear equation? Explain. If possible, write an equation that gives you the cost of the function of the number of people in the group. Okay, so they're going to say, they're asking, can it be written as equation? Meaning, is it a line? Which means, does it follow a consistent rate of change? And I'm hoping that, yes, you can see this, right? So as the number of people increase by 2, the increase in costs in dollars is 100, right? So in fact, we can do, okay, that are dollars, right? Dollars per people. Okay, and in fact, we can go ahead and we'll do 4 250, so it's $250 for 4 people, right? And then if I go ahead and divide that, and actually, you know what? I just saw another one that would be easier. In fact, let's do 10 people, right? Oops, $550 for 10 people, right? This is easier because then if I divide, I just get $55 per person. Okay. Now, we need to find, actually that doesn't work. That's if it was a proportional relationship, right? So what we really need to do is we need to see how much it goes. Let's see, it goes up 2 right here, and it goes up $100 here. So I mean, it's going to be going up. My slope is $50 per one person. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and use this 10, 550, and we'll put that in there. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, there it is. All right, and then we are going to find, the slope, which is, oops, I did it again. All right, m is equal to, what do we say, $50 per person. Okay, and I know that we'll use 10, 550. Okay, so then I know that the overall cost is going to be equal to, we'll use, let's see, cost will make y, number of people will make x. Okay, and so we'll use this 10 and 550, and so I can say y minus 550 is equal to 50 times x minus 10. And there you have it. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's rewrite this in slope-intercept form. How about that? Y minus 550 is equal to 50x minus 500. Then I will add 550 each side, so I get y is equal to 50x plus 50. Okay, and there you have it. So Make sure you have taken notes, bring them to class, and we'll get working on this some more.